All right, so good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Happy Thanksgiving, huh? What do you got to say about that? All right, Panthers give us a nice big fat. They gave us a big fat egg for Thanksgiving last night, which they're confused. Eggs is Easter, you dummies. I guess you could say they laid a turkey of a game too, but that would be a bit much, right? So hey, look, you can't win every game. We'll talk about it a little bit here, but today. Um, on the podcast. I'm going to be doing things just a little bit slightly different. Normally, this is the members only podcast, which there's a lot of you now, thanks to number one, a lot of you have been joining, and I really genuinely appreciate that. And the other thing is, a lot of people have been handing out memberships like cotton candy on the live streams, which I really genuinely appreciate that because that gives you all an opportunity to listen to the show and see what I do for the members for a full month until you decide, hopefully, to stick around. And we've had a lot of people that have stuck around from the gifted memberships. So I really appreciate that both ways, coming and going. So um, today, I'm going to follow Kyle's advice, which is something I'll do from time to time. We were sitting there talking about the fact that I was going to do the podcast on Thanksgiving. And he said, yeah, why don't you do a show talking about what you're thankful for? And I'm like, duh, right? And crossed my mind. I probably would have gotten there, at some point during the video. But yeah, I'm thinking about it. Now this would have been, well, it still is, episode 184. So it's almost exactly 6 months. And so this is the first one I've done on Thanksgiving. So I think we'll just make it an annual tradition that the Thanksgiving edition is public. It's not just for the members. And we talk about some of the things that we're thankful for. And we'll talk about the game a little bit. I'm not, if you watched the recap last night, I couldn't be upset about the game. You know what I mean? You're not going to win every single game. And like I said, was through this morning. What's going on now? And I'm not saying that we are the Lightning. Don't take me the wrong way. But remember, 2 years in a row, the Lightning would beat us up in the playoffs and then go on to greatness at the end of the season. And in the following regular season, the Panthers would play our asses off to make sure we're going to get vengeance for what they did to us in the playoffs. And then they'd beat us again in the playoffs. So, with all due respect to the Bruins, I think last year on paper, and with points, they probably are the best team in the league. Maybe, save Vegas. Okay. I think Boston at full strength still would have had trouble with Vegas. That would have been probably a better series, considering how beat up the Panthers were. But that's a different story. The point is that it's the regular season now, and the Panthers have moved on from being overly concerned about the intricacies of every single game during their regular season. They proved last year what this group of guys can do. Just get in. Now, I would add the caveat this year is just you don't need to be sneaking in as the 8 seed, okay? Give me the 2 seed, maybe the 3 seed in the division if it happens to work out that way. But Boston's going to be the first seed. Just don't get the 8 seed. Okay, that should be really realistically the main goal that we have right now in terms of the regular season. Just work on the things that we need to work on. The power play. Okay, I don't know what the answer to the power play is. I really don't. It has been, regardless of the coaches, the players, it's just the one thing. If you step all the way back, if you go back to when the new owners came in, literally everything else that was a problem for this team and the franchise, whether it's on the ice or off the ice, literally everything else about the culture and about the way the team is run and how things are done, everything else has changed except the power play. Just it's the same smelly ass over and over and over again. And we usually, when you look at the year end statistics, they were in the middle of the pack because what happens is well, how long is hockey season? 6 months. Let's see, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So yeah, 7 months. So for five and a half of those months, we're like one of the worst power plays in the league. Then for about a month and a half, we're far and away the best power play in the league. We go on some ridiculous tear, and you think, it's fixed. It's not fixed. So we end up in the middle of the pack statistically. But in reality, I mean, we had two power plays, yesterday. I mean, look, the beginning of that game for the Panthers, it was a gift, right? We were beating the crap out of McAvoy. The refs were letting us do it, okay? And they gave us two power plays. We go 0 for 2, and that's in big part why we lost the game. You know what I mean? So, but past that, I see some Boston fans making some comments, and it's like, let's. I would have thought you guys would have wanted to wait till after the playoffs. Now, if you play us in the second round of the playoffs and you beat us in six, have at it, man. Deservedly so. You avenged what we did to you last year. But in the regular season, you guys should be better than that. You guys got cups, right? You guys should know how to act when you win and when you lose. You guys aren't Leaf fans, okay? I forgive the Leaf fans for not knowing what to do when they won, whether when they were cheering, we want Florida and we want Boston, because they hadn't won. I mean, most of those kids weren't even probably alive the last time the Leafs won a playoff round. So I forgive them. But you Bruins fans, you got cups. You've been winning for you should know. You should know that, hey, it's just a regular season. Don't talk any smack in the regular season. Wait to the playoffs. Um, so that's just my 2 cents. You know what I mean? I get a giggle out of it because I just kind of look at it like, you guys are gonna trash talk now, 20 games in. It's like, how'd that go for you last year? It didn't go real well. You would have thought some of you would have learned, and some Bruins fans. I've got plenty of Bruins fans that watch this channel, and mostly everybody's pretty cool. And we only had to ban one Bruins fan at the end of the game yesterday. That's actually not true. We had to ban one at the beginning, um, when somebody apparently called Kyle a highly inappropriate name, and then at the back end of the game, somebody came on talking some trash. And I'll say the same thing that I always say: mild to moderate back and forth ribbing between fan bases is just fine. But if you're going to be nasty about it, it's the insta ban. Okay. um I want to grow the channel, but I will never grow the channel on by including trolls and engaging with them. I've done it in the past where I've posted and pinned their comments and everything like that. And there's just no need for me to expend my energy that way. I'd be better off making another Bill Zito video. So yeah, so zero tolerance is the way it's going to be, even on Thanksgiving Eve. If you say the wrong thing, I'm sorry, it's zero tolerance. So that said, that said, Kyle's idea about talking about what I'm grateful for. For the first thing I want to get out, well, there's two things I want to get out of the way. Number one, um, I'm inevitably going to leave out something, somebody, etc. So don't take it personally. You guys ever see the movie Knowing? I forget who that is. It's not Nick Nolte, the other guy, right? God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Somebody's going to say it in the comments. I'm going to go, duh. Anyway, the movie Knowing, where um, the girl knows the future and she gives all the dates for all the things that are going to happen, and then at the end, the last thing she says is "ee." Everybody else. Well, whoever I forget, you're included in the in the everybody else part. Don't take it personally. It's early in the morning. My brain is never fully functional anyway. I'm not going to blame the time. So, but first, right off the bat, happy birthday, Ellie. Huh? She's 13 years old today, and she's still rocking and rolling, man. Fluffy's going to be 11 in June, and for Saint Bernard, you guys know the music there. But she's 13 years old, and I mean, she's still trying to roughhouse and play with Fluffy outside, and I have to like monitor that and make sure they don't get too rough because Fluffy will get hurt. But she's still rocking and rolling. She does. She's kind of crazy. she's kind of crazy. Now, if you see her on the streams, you think, oh, what could be wrong, right? Because she's licking on me, and she's cuddling, and she's all happy and everything. And that's great. Once we get upstairs, um, she turns into a wild wildebeest if you come too close to her bed. I mean, she'll eat you, right? She's not really going to do it. But you might think you back up, you jump up. So she's got a little bit of doggy sundowners, but hey, it is what it is. Both of them are at that age where just like when they take that long nap and you wait and you walk over and you start petting them and they're still warm, you're thankful. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could still be another 2, 3 years. It could be even more than that with Fluffy. You never know. But on the flip side of that, any nap time could be that time too. Uh, so yeah, absolutely thankful for them. And the it's like a whole package deal, right? And some of this is in the book, so I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent. But since my ex was pregnant with Kyle, I've stayed home and wanted to make sure I was home with the kids and everything like that, so I could work from home. We've had the eBay stuff and I had the Amazon stuff, and now I've got this channel. And the level of support that this channel gets for the size that it's unheard of. It's unheard of. I talk to a lot of other creators with plenty bigger channels than me, and it's just to say we're lucky, to say we're blessed, to say we're humbled is there's not enough words for the amount of support that we get all the way around, whether it just be how many people are commenting on the videos, the thumbs up, the super chats, the memberships, the number of people coming to the streams. It's just some people might look at the channel and go, well, it's 7,000 subscribers. That doesn't tell the whole story to this channel, because the people that are here are here. I mean, it is hardcore. You know you can get people to watch your videos, right? Like on the football channel, if I put out a little video, sometimes they get 1,000, 2,000 views. I get one comment. You know what I mean? So it's not a community. I got people watching them, right? But it's just 1,000 random people that YouTube, the algorithm just, okay, let's show it to these people. And they liked it enough to click. It doesn't mean they watched the whole thing. Doesn't mean they're emotionally engaged with the content or anything. They're just watching it, right? Um, this channel's different. The average video might only get 500 views, but they all it's the consistency is amazing. And for some time I used to be bothered by how come I can't get more. Like 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 the way the football videos work is significantly different than this channel. The football videos, I'll put out a video and in the first 12 hours, it might get 10, 15 views. And I don't even worry about it because the algorithm will keep testing it with different groups until most of the time it finds the right people. And all of a sudden it'll go from 20 views to 1,000 in like 3 or 4 hours, right? But there's not much other engagement. With the hockey stuff, it's it's kind of the opposite, where like I can put out a video and like in the first 2 hours it'll have 200 views, right? but but then I'll come back after 6 hours and it won't even have 300 yet. And the algorithm is much treats this channel much differently, because like once it gets to like that 3 or 400 view level, it does not, because I can see my analytics, the what YouTube is doing, where it's showing it to people, and it just stopped showing it to people. And so for a while I was really frustrated about that, and I said, you know what, that's what we got. That's what we're doing here. You know what I mean? Um, if at some point things view wise get better, it's not really as important to me as it used to be, because of the level of support that the people that do watch, you know, are giving. And I always say, especially last year, I used to say it's kind of your channel, to everybody who's watching and giving the financial support, because we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it if we weren't getting that. Kyle would be at Dunkin' Donuts. He doesn't know that, but I always joke about Dunkin' Donuts because if you believe it or not, here in Maryland, Dunkin' Donuts starts you at $18 an hour. Um, so anyway, um, yeah, I used to worry about that a little bit too much, and nowadays it's just kind of like I don't even I hardly I will find myself not even realizing how many views a video gets until maybe it gets a little bit higher. Um, Now that said, there's we're always trying to add in new things, and we added in the reviews with Stu, who has been a huge part of helping the channel grow, and he brought Randy Moeller, he brought in Billy Lindsay, right? He brought on Frank Fort, right? And there's more where that's there's always more there. Um, but he's what I talked about this a little bit in the book, so I don't want to get too in depth here. But let's just say that when we met, I was still not all that healthy, and his excitement to do things many times was the only reason I was doing them. If that makes any sense. I was still at a time when my health was not great, and I would he'd be like, "Hey, let's do a video on this," and I would be like, "Oh, I wouldn't say it to him, but inside I'd be like, oh, now I got to get out of this chair, and I feel like crap." But I would do it, right? And so, more than the fact that he brought Billy and Randy on board and everything, um, he's a salesman. So he's kind of hard to say no to. So that's actually been a contribution. And I've never even really talked to him about that. So Stu wanted me to, he said he wanted 15 minutes out of the video, but I think I give you 45 seconds. I'm kidding, Stu. You know you're a big part of this. Just don't be like Hall and Oates and start getting ready to sue me, get a restraining order on me. Don't get me started there. Completely different subject. Yesterday was a tough day because everybody that knows that I like Hall and Oates, hey, did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? I'm like, yeah, I heard. I heard. I know. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. I get it. I don't want to talk about it. That said, I did put out a community post yesterday. Real quick, I want to mention this. I've been putting out the podcasts on Spotify, but I need a certain level of viewership over there to monetize it. So it's still kind of been free for them, but I don't want to leave it free for forever because people are paying for the memberships to hear the podcast. So I'm close to it, but I don't think I'm going to hit the threshold. So what I'm going to do is next week I'm going to make a Spotify exclusive video that's not even going to be on the channel. It's just going to be on Spotify. So I made a community post asking for suggestions on what topic you guys want me to cover there. I haven't even been able to have a chance to look at the responses yet, but if you'd want to throw your 2 cents in, that post is there. I did that yesterday, and then I'll try to put together something that follows the instructions that you guys give me. So, but yeah, absolutely, Stu has been a huge part of where we're going now, and he gets we joke about it because all these years I've been doing it, and he's the one down in Florida at the games getting recognized. Hey, you're Stu, right? He's been recognized more than once, and I guess the true test of things will be if somebody ever recognizes me here in Maryland. Hey, you're the guy with the hockey channel. Then I will know that I've made it. So there's that. Um, oh, there's so many, and also I don't want to leave out Tom here too, as well. He's a new addition now. He's been writing articles. Really, really impressed. Um, last year, as you guys know, I tried to put together a team to write stuff for flyingfluffy.com. I had the website set up. There was a failure. It was a failure. Um, so this is going to be different. Tom is really invested in wanting to be able to write and helping out the channel and everything. So I said, sure, why not? Let's do it. And I've been really impressed with the level of in depth, and detail in the articles so far. So yeah, this week we should, within a week or two at the most, We're going to have a more permanent home for them because we've been putting them on the community posts right now, but when you read it on mobile, it's not pleasant. It's because it doesn't format right. Um, so we're going to have a more permanent home there. The flyingfluffy.com website is gone right now. I still own the domain, but um, like like the beginning of October, they wanted to charge me for the next year of it, and it was like $360. I'm like, yeah, I don't have $360 to keep the website open when nothing was happening there. So I don't know if I can rebuild one, and if I direct it, if it's still going to be monetized with ads on there or whatnot. But that's not really the most important thing. Um, but we're going to figure something out. They have a more permanent home to the articles that Tom is writing, and then um, that will probably, like I was telling him yesterday, that will probably motivate me to maybe pop some things out. And then instead of like I did it last year, where I created the site and asked people to write, maybe this year, if through Tom's writing, and if I add some stuff in, maybe somebody else who really wants to do it will say, "Hey, I want to be a part of this," and then maybe we'll develop a team that way to have to continue to add to the channel. And that was the point that I was making, was that, like with the Bill Zito stuff that I've been putting out, I'm always gonna have to have something new that I'm doing. I'm not capable of just cranking out the same thing over and over again unless I'm doing something new. So like we've had the recaps for forever, and then we added in the reviews, and now I'm doing I'm doing the Bill Zito stuff. I'm going to try to expand that because I don't want it all to just be the Bill Zito stuff. So I've got some ideas up in my head, just start expanding that past the Panthers and Bill Zito and everything, and try to add in some different characters and whatnot there. So I'm looking forward to that. That's people seem to be really enjoying those. So, and I'm having a good time doing it because it gives me an opportunity to make light of some situations, and just don't take it personally when I talk about trading Ekblad. That's all. That's the key, is don't take it personally. You know what I mean? He's got a $7.5 million cap hit. As long as we're up against the cap, right? His name and Bubba's name is probably always going to be at the top of the list to say, well, we can move on from so and so. So don't get mad at me. It's not my fault that, you know, um, Talon handed out. Well, I mean, not like Ekblad. I mean, Ekblad's worth the money, right? So it's been awfully quiet too, by the way. As an aside, we heard like 2-3 weeks ago that the Montour and Forsling extensions were getting close, and then it's just been like we haven't heard anything other than Patrick Kane, Patrick Kane, Patrick Kane. So yeah, somebody they need to start signing some contracts there. You know what I mean? That needs to happen. So what else? I guess I should throw Kyle in there because I work him to death. I joke about it. Um, Half of me thinks I work him to death. Half of me thinks I take it too easy on him. So it's probably somewhere in the middle. But like I've told the story before, last year, before the season started last year, I looked at the bills and I looked at my credit cards and I realized that I did not have enough credit to finance another year because I did the bankruptcy in 2019, and in 2020 and 2021, I put everything on my credit cards so that I could keep doing the channel. And then when I looked at it last year, I realized that I wasn't going to make it. I was not even going to come close to being able to make it. So I told Kyle, I said, look, we either got to start streaming every game and hoping for some super chats, or one of us got to go get a job because it just was a was. There was nothing for it. And he didn't even blink. He said, okay, we're doing it. And last year he ran at least 3 or 4 streams by himself when I was sick, or it was the late games. I mean, then we've added in the football, and like today, we're doing 2 football games. Tomorrow, we're doing a Dolphin game. We're doing a Panther game. We're going to do probably 1 or 2 football games on Sunday. Then we got Panthers Monday, Tuesday. So I'm proud of him. I'm appreciative that he has stepped up because he also does. at least 70, 80% of the eBay stuff. I do the buying, I do the pack and ship. So he lists the stuff. So it's enjoyable for him most of the time because he's a real big history buff and he loves to do research and everything like that. So I buy him a bunch of antique documents and antique photos, and he does the research and finds out. I mean, he'll get some photo from 1910 and do enough research and figure out, hey, this is this person in this location, and put their name in the title, and it sells because people are searching for stuff from their hometown or their family or whatever. So he enjoys doing that. I write him about, not sleeping late and not working enough, but it's all in good fun. He knows, it's a little bit of a shtick. You guys can tell if I'm getting serious about it. He does sleep in a little bit too much because, Kyle, I know you're going to watch this. 12:30 yesterday was a bit much. Okay, 10:30, 11, I can let it slide because I know you're up till 2 in the morning. Um, I wish you was listening till 2 in the morning. You see, this is how it goes. I'm going to start giving them shit. I love you, Kyle. It's okay. He does a good job. I'll tell you what, last year, he was always a minute to 3 minutes late on the streams. This year, he's been on time every game so far. So that's definitely an improvement. Last year, I was having to sit there and start things and call him, and I guess he got sick of that. So this year, I get it ready. He starts it so I can go take care of the dogs and get the intro and the recap and all of that going. Which that leads me to the next thing I'm grateful for and the thank you. Um, the stuff that everybody sends me. Oh my God. So yesterday, if you watched the recap, we got the Bennett puppet in, and yeah, that was William. He said, and I said I was going to name him Sam, but Stu had the right idea. We named this one Bennett, and then if we get one for Reinhardt, we name him Rhino. And I do have his voice down, but I'm not going to do it here because I'll screw it up. So this way, first time I do his voice, I can just record it and then find the. But I have his voice. It's good. I did send the voice to William in a direct message on Twitter. I don't know if he's gotten it yet or if he's just wondering what the hell was this crazy message I got from Jaws. But yeah, I went outside yesterday after I opened them up, and because we've got a number of voices and they don't just fly off the shelf. You know what I mean? You want it to sound right, um, and kind of fit the personality. So I think I got it. I think I'm happy with it. So maybe tomorrow, Bennett might do the intro. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, the people that send me stuff all the time. I mean, I got a wall full of, I got a coat rack full of jerseys there. I've got another half dozen or so that I still need to hang up. Um, I mean, like when you see me wearing like this hat, right, and you see some of the other new hats and stuff like that, I didn't buy that. You guys bought that and send it to me, right? I know Stu has sent me some stuff. I know Chris sends me stuff. Dana has sent me a lot of things. There's a lot more. Dustin has sent stuff. Jameson has sent a lot of jerseys from Canada too. By the way, he spared no expense. 2 years in a row now, he's sent me jerseys. Which, by the way, I know that I have talked about this in the past about wanting the jerseys to do the fan reactions of certain teams, and I know I've dabbled and backed off and dabbled and backed off, but that is in the chamber to start up again and to be more consistent with it. So there's going to be the Bill Zito series, and then that's going to kind of morph into the other GMs, and then there's I'm trying to break Billy here. There's going to be the Bill Zito series, and then there is going to be the series of um, the individual teams reacting to whatever it is that they're reacting to. So I've got about, I don't know if I have half the teams right now, um, but I'm in much better shape right now to get an idea about doing one and having the jersey or the hat. And if I need to, like I bought over the summer, I was going to do it, but then I got so busy doing the book. But I actually bought myself a Toronto Maple Leafs hat. Because for the videos, I haven't put it on yet. I think it's too small. It might have come from China by accident because I was just like, I just need this for the video. So I bought like the cheapest one I could find. And when I opened it up, I'm like, this looks awfully small. I haven't tried it on yet. But the point is those videos are coming shortly, soon, shortly and soon, and soon and shortly. So yeah, for everybody that sent me stuff, obviously, huge thanks. And um, God, there's just I don't want to leave anybody out, you know. Um, I just want to also give special thanks to Dana, because she was the original member. Like long before anybody even knew she was paying $5 a month on Patreon, right? And I mean, every stream she's there with a super chat. Every stream with a super chat, and it's just um, she's been a good friend, and she's been there when I was quitting and coming back and quitting and coming back, and she never gave me any shit about it either. You know what I mean? Like she knew the real reasons, and she knows a lot of the truth behind a lot of my reasons for doing things, but she never gave me any grief about it. Like, oh, you're back again. She's never once gave me any grief, and more than sending the money and the super chats and all of that, having somebody that you can just like vent to and bounce shit off of. And she'll tell me the truth, but she don't give me any shit about it. She don't criticize me about it. She just lets me be me and knows that I'll sort through it. So yeah, for her especially, my friend Karen has been like that. Not the girlfriend Karen, not Karen. She's Karen with an A. I'm talking about Karen with an I, Karen Lash. She's also been there basically from the beginning. If you look in the recap wall, there's a little sign that says Man Cave. And the funny story behind that is that she bought that for me years ago, like years ago. Um, and it was displayed. And then Matthias happened. And what's funny is he hid it and it was gone for years, and I don't remember where I found it, but this summer when I was looking for something, um, I found it. So the sign is back. Um, I think it's still there because I moved some stuff around when I moved the cereal boxes around, but I'm pretty sure I still made space for it. I had to look, but if it's not, the point is, the point is, there's a lot of stuff like the posters are on the wall. People sent me those, the scarves. People sent me those. Um, the New Jersey that I got, and I'm really ashamed that I don't remember exactly who it was that sent me the New Jersey, but they sent New Jersey with the new logo. So I don't. Sometimes I'll wear that in here. MJ also, yeah, MJ has been a huge supporter. He has sent a lot of stuff. He sent us a bunch of Christmas presents last year. Um, the blue shirt that you see, the Panther shirt that Kyle wears, and I have the matching hoodie. That's from MJ. And he's also been very supportive. There's a handful of people behind the scenes that when things get rough, I can vent to them and they don't give me any grief. They get it. And then, of course, Nick from Twisted Wrister has been a huge friend, not fan, yeah, huge friend. I can't figure out why I can't say that. I've been on his channel, he's been on mine, and we have a very simpatico relationship when it comes to the YouTube algorithm. We both have the same. Um, we both have the same feeling about the YouTube algorithm because it'll drive you crazy. It's so maddeningly inconsistent. And if you've ever watched any of those videos, um, where it's somebody going to sell you a course or teach you how to crack the algorithm and all the things that go into, I'm not going to say it's bull, but most of it is. They they're not wrong in the sense that if you do all of these things, it will, depending on your niche, increase the chances somebody's going to click on your thumbnail and whatnot. But for something like sports, like us, it's like there's one dude doing Panther recaps. You know what I mean? So like, if you're in a niche where there's 10 people with the same content, you might look at the thumbnails and one might catch your eye. But in sports, you're generally watching the people that you like. that you know what I mean? You can put out a really bad thumbnail that would turn people off. But the point is that yeah, Nick is another one I got to give thanks to because he's a good sounding board. And again, he don't I can text him, he can text me, and we get it. Where sometimes we just need somebody that understands to vent and be like, especially Nick. Um, there's videos he'll put 10, 12, 17 hours of work more into a video. And, that's a lot of work to put into something that in our mind tanks. You know what I mean? I mean, on one hand, there's no guarantee, right? What's the most popular video on this channel? I'm giving Fluffy a bath, right? I'm like, hey, literally, it was no thought process. Hey, Kyle, I'm going to give Fluffy a bath. Come over here and record it with my phone. And you grab my cheap Android phone, and I sped it up to fit it into like 3 or 4 minutes, and 60 something thousand views. And the next closest video of mine on hockey is the Kachuk Day, which that's like 13,000 views. So, the amount of effort that you put in, the quality of the video, it's not always indicative. So Nick gets that. Um, also, Paul from the locker room, good friend, also as well. He's actually going to be on the show again next week at some point. Um, really, really, really good guy, really down to earth guy. I like to see his channel grow. He's got really, I know that there are a number of people that do the shorter form videos, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, where they're voicing over with the highlights. I've done some of that. I will continue to do that. But he's got a really good way of looking at things, right? Where some of the channels you kind of listen, you're like, I'm not so sure about that take. But Paul, I think he does an exceptional job, and I hope that he gets the recognition that he deserves there. That's for sure. And I could not go without, as long as I'm thanking other YouTubers, like I always say, John from Hot Take Hockey. We don't talk a lot. We're still, we still message every once in a while. Um, but this channel, I languished with a capital L. I was in year 5 and still was at like 940 subscribers, and would be like 940, 941. And then a week would go by and it'd be like 942. I'm like, I'm never going to get to the 1,000 subscribers. Like my second or third live stream, John from Hot Take Hockey rated the channel. 60 something new subscribers, got over the 1,000 mark, got me monetized, and just completely took me over the finish line, which it could have, who knows how long it would have taken. It could have taken another 6 months. That's not even an exaggeration. If you've ever had a channel in that 7 to 800, 900 subscriber range, it's like the faucet just almost all the way off, and it's just drip. And you just waking up every day, and it's like 942, 942, 942. Oh, 943. Oh, 944. And then somebody leaves and it's 943 again. And you're like, you just that's when you send a text to Nick or Dana or Karen. You see what I'm saying? That's when you send a text. I've been busting my ass, and I gain 2, lose 1, gain 2, lose 1. So it's a family. If you've been doing this long enough, that's the only way you could understand. It's like being a parent, right? You can say, no, I understand. No, you don't understand until you have a kid. You know what I mean? And once you've been on YouTube doing it long enough, because from the outside, somebody might say, don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the trolls. Don't worry about views. Just do what you love. And that's not wrong. But the flip side to that is there's only so many times you could bang your head up against that wall where you're like, am I ever going to get more than 50 views? You know what I mean? Am I going to ever grow? And, there's all sorts of noise out there in the YouTube space about what to do, what not to do. And you start, it'll drive you, you'll go Cocoa Puffs really, really, really quick. So I need to tighten this up and get ready to go because Kyle and I are going to be live in an hour. So let me take a moment to take a sip of water because I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Yeah. You can't go without thanking Karen. I know she won't watch the video. She used to watch. That's how she suckered me into. That's how she got me. She was we met online, but she was like, "Oh, I watched your video. I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this." And once she moved in and got to know me, she don't watch the videos no more. But but she's always there for the dogs, right? She's always there, no matter what kind of shitty ass days she's had, no matter how hard she's working. What time is the stream? 6:30. What time do you want dinner? Quarter to 6? Okay. No matter if she feels great, she feels like shit. She and I always tell her, I said, look, I could cook my own dinner. I could do it. But she wants to do it. She wants to help, you know, it was I always say, you guys know that if you've been in with this channel long enough, I was not healthy. I had the Lyme disease and I was in rough shape for a while. And she, I mean, to put not too fine a point on it, I mean, she spent her whole life savings getting me healthy. So the fact that I can do all the streams and do all the things that I do, um, I think that's kind of why I give Kyle a little bit of grief because I'm like, I couldn't have done this 3, 4 years ago. I wouldn't have had the energy. I could barely do a 1 hour pregame stream without just plotzing. Though that year, the year I did the 1 hour pregame streams and I was still kind of sick, what you guys don't see behind the scenes, I would do the 1 hour pregame stream, and you guys would watch the recap, and I'd be like 2 points, right? But during the game, I would be laying on the couch like this, watching, literally, seriously watching with one good eye open and the other one closed, and that's how I was watching the games because I was so wiped out. That's a true story. So um, yeah, always have to be thankful for her because and especially for the dogs. Like Sonia's last year and a half, um, she didn't really want to come downstairs while we were doing the games because she didn't like the noise and the stairs were tough for her. And Karen would be upstairs and giving her treats and giving her love and everything like that. Um, so it all adds up and it all makes a difference. So thank you to everybody. And look, hey, look, I'm sure I forgot. I mean, there's so many people. There's a lot of people. There's a long thank you section in the book, which is at the formatters as we speak, and should be a week or two at the most before it's sent off to Amazon. And then once I know that it's going to be approved over there, I can work on getting. I'll have a pre-sale thing set up that way. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, there's a whole section in the book of thank yous, getting into a little bit more specifics. But it's a good Thanksgiving. It really is. For anybody that I might have specifically left out verbally mentioning your name, I apologize. And like I said at the beginning of the video, everybody else. Everybody else. Because I know as soon as I click end recording, I'm gonna remember somebody that I should have thanked. But we're not done here. This isn't the gold watch. This is only the first annual Thanksgiving podcast. So if I leave you out, just send me a nasty message and I'll get you next year. Right? Oh man, I know there's somebody. I know I'm leaving somebody out. Let me think about this for a half a second. Let me see. We got Kyle, we got Karen, we got Stu, we got Paul, we got Nick, we got Dana, we got Karen. There's more. There's other people that are there on the streams. Like Rosado was there every game last year, right? Okay. Um, there's some people giving hell of a lot of money on the super chats, like Paul. MJ has done it. I know Love of Life. Dustin does a lot for this channel. And there's a lot more people. So appreciate all the support. And yeah, Kyle and I are going to be live today at noon, and then today at 8 o'clock, and then tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and then tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and then Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, and then Sunday at 4 o'clock, and Sunday at 8 o'clock, and Monday night and Tuesday night. That's 9 days in a row. So next Wednesday, don't email me, don't text me, don't expect anything from me next Wednesday. Yeah, that sums it up. All right, everybody. Appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys again real soon.